Okay, so please tell me you've experienced this too. You spend hours cooking this awesome meal, you're super excited about it, you put it out on the table, only to have your kids not want to take even a single bite. Yep, you've experienced that too? Okay, awesome. So that was totally our situation with potatoes. I had a kid who wanted nothing to do with them. You could make French fries, you could make roasted potatoes, you could make mashed potatoes, and he wouldn't want to touch them. So you just say, don't feed your kid potatoes, it's not that big of a deal. However, for us, we grew over 1,000 pounds of potatoes this past year on our farm. So they were a huge part of our diet all year round. And so I was bound and determined to figure out how I could get this kid to like potatoes. And so I experimented with lots of different recipes until I found a winner. Potato pancakes were the thing that got him to love eating potatoes. So now potato pancakes are a staple to our regular meals and we make them quite often. We make our potato pancakes gluten-free. I use an almond flour and an arrowroot flour to help bind the potatoes together. You could totally do this with a regular wheat or white flour to bind it, but we just use an almond flour and an arrowroot flour, but it's flexible. I also like to add sauteed onions and garlic to my potato pancakes. You guys, garlic, onions, and salt are like the key to making your food have really good flavor and taste really good. So I love adding an onion, a couple garlic cloves, and make sure there's a good amount of salt to flavor it. But you can also just use garlic powder and onion powder if you don't want to take the step of sauteing garlic and onion. So that's pretty much it. You have your almond flour, your arrowroot flour, onion, garlic, a couple eggs, which will also help bind them together, and then some salt. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up. Okay, so I always start with already made cold mashed potatoes. I have found that cold mashed potatoes are key to getting your potato pancakes to just hold up really well and have a really nice texture. So I started with 4 cups of cold mashed potatoes and then I added in the rest of the ingredients. And when you stir it in, you want it to be a nice texture, not too lumpy, just get it all mixed in nice and good. And then I'm going to go ahead and cook it on my cast iron skillet. So a couple tips and tricks here is that you want your cast iron to be super nice and preheated before you drop your pancakes on there. I don't form them in advance. I just go ahead and kind of dollop them on, smooth them out, spread them out to be a pancake on my pan. But it's important that your pan is nice and hot and preheated with plenty of good cooking fat. And so that's another thing. For cooking fat, you want to use a nice heat-stable cooking fat. So we like to cook with lard. Coconut oil is another great choice, or tallow, something that's going to hold up to a pretty high heat. And so you're going to go ahead, heat up your cooking fat, get your cast iron pan nice and heated, and then go ahead and drop dollops or tablespoons of your pancakes on there, kind of flatten them out, and then just let them cook. I think one of the keys to cooking pancakes, especially on cast iron, is you need to let them sit. You need to let them sit longer than you think you're going to make them easily flippable. If you try to flip them too soon, they fall apart. So you want to make sure you let those pancakes sit even longer than you think you need to. You can kind of take a spatula and kind of just try to pry it under and see if it seems like they're holding together. That's a good thing to do so you don't have pancakes that just totally fall apart. But let them sit longer than you need to make really nice, flippable, crispy potato pancakes. Okay, so this is how we get our kids to eat potatoes and love them. And so if you're looking for other ways to maybe sneak some things in without getting anyone to notice, we'd highly recommend checking out our chocolate beet muffins, a great way to get those beets in your kids' diet without them even knowing. So we'll link up to that video next, and we'll see you in that one.